Nadia.
I don't know if somebody asked you about this or not, but I want to ask you about the Amnesty International report.
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, Amnesty just published its report. I don't know if you've seen it in details, but they say there is a reasonable evidence that Israel has committed war crimes, gross violation of human rights, and violation of international humanitarian law. I'm just wondering, I mean, with something as serious as this from a very reputable organization that normally use it to talk about rogue states, etc., when they finding and they publish their reports, why the State Department still now has not published anything to either contradict or to support other human rights organizations being talking about what's happening in Gaza?
So first, I've not seen that specific report, Nadia, but I think you were in the briefing room just about a week and a half ago, in which we when we unveiled the 2024 Human Rights Report, in which there was in fact a section outlining Israel and the Palestinian territories. When it comes to the current conflict in Gaza, and I've spent a number of days talking about this, we are continuing to assess what is happening on the ground. We have a number of tools at our disposal to look into what is happening on the ground, and if required, hold appropriate and relevant parties accountable. You've heard us talk a great deal in this briefing room about Leahy. You've heard us talk a great deal in this briefing room about the Churg process. We continue to have those options as well as other avenues under the Foreign Assistance Act to look into these things. And as in any conflict zone, Nadia, this work is ongoing, and we are feeding into that process in close coordination with not just our embassies and consulates, but also civil society, independent media reporting of such things, and of course, NGOs as well.
Can you just assure us that actually you treat Israel the same way as you treat any other country that found in violation of international law? Because what we hear from you is all the statements and some actions, like we see with the settlers. But many believe that when the Prime Minister of Israel pick up the phone, call the White House, the finding is changed and delayed and pushed, just like we heard about even the Secretary. We were together in Italy when he assured us that we're going to hear about this report, about the Leahy report and the violation of using U.S. weapons, but we haven't heard about it. So I just wanted an assurance from you that actually
well,
you're taking these things seriously.
I spent about 50% of the daily press briefing yesterday talking about it, so would take issue with how you laid that out. There are absolutely, we hold Israel to the same standard that we hold any country with, and that is with in Gaza, outside of Gaza, anywhere. International law, international humanitarian law needs to be followed, and it needs to be abided by. And when we find violations, or when we find issues that are concerning, not only do we raise them with the Israeli government, we will take appropriate actions consistent with the systems and tools that we have in the United States to take appropriate actions. I spent a great deal of yesterday talking about the Leahy process, in which we found 5 violations of gross violations of human rights. So when we see issues, we will not hesitate to take appropriate action. There is no different standard or different set of rules when it comes to any country on which we have a relationship with.
Okay, just one final clarification. The Secretary said that the offer they give to Hamas is generous. Who decide what is generosity? Is it the United States and Israel? What is it? Is it Arab partners in the Saudi summit that they decide is generous? I mean, I guess my question, how do you define what is generous?
So, Nadia, over the course of this conflict, we have seen Hamas move the goalpost, renege on agreements that they have made as relates to part of this deal. And so the Secretary was simply underlining the fact that we are in this position in which Hamas has a generous offer on the table, and it's imperative for them to move and to act on it as swiftly as possible. Olivia.